What up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots coming at you with another video. I'm Vegas,
And I'm T-Bone.
and today we're going to talk about the Carolina Panthers 2023 season expectations. T-Bone, I'm going to pass this one off to you since this is your team. What do you got for me?
Well, thank you, Vegas. Thank you, Vegas. I'm excited. I am excited. This is the most excited I've been about the Carolina Panthers since 2015. So
Well,
it's
I
been a
mean,
long
Matt Rule's
while.
gone, so you have a lot to be
Matt
excited
Rule's
about.
gone. I know.
He gets to go ruin
Wake up in the
Nebraska
morning.
now. Nebraska lost to Minnesota this past weekend. That was hilarious.
Oh my God. I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad. I had no clue what we were doing signing him for 7 years. 7 years we signed him for.
I mean,
He
he's
played
set
like
for
three,
life.
maybe, or not played, coach. But so I'm glad he's gone. I am so excited. Uh, basically, I know we're not going to be. I mean, we may make a playoff push, but this is certainly part of the rebuild year. We've got our quarterback that we're focused on, and we're gonna cater to him. We got a new coach, and we've absolutely kitted out our front office and coaching staff. We have completely just cleaned house. We got a bunch of brand new staff. We have um, actually an old Carolina Panthers head coach as an assistant now, the minor assistant. We've got a couple of defensive guys from the Broncos and the Rams that were good. And so I am quite excited. Now for the players. In the offseason, we did some work. We did some work. Not much, but some to talk about. We got Adam Thielen, obviously, to sort of replace DJ Moore. And we've got Miles Sanders and Hayden Hurst. Those are big three guys that I'm big on. Miles Sanders
Yeah.
did well in the Eagles last year. Adam Thielen, great wide receiver too in Minnesota, and Hayden Hurst is a sleeper. I think he's gonna show out some. He didn't have stellar stats with the Bengals, but you also had Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. So I'm excited about the offseason moves we've made. You got any thoughts on this, Vegas?
I do. I absolutely love the Hurst pickup as well. That's one that I'm very excited for y'all. I think he's an underrated player, and I definitely agree that he was being outshone by a star-studded Bengals receiving corps. So definitely agree with you there. I think Adam Thielen is a solid veteran pickup. He's definitely not the same player he was a few years ago, but I think it's a solid grab for you guys. I really like the Miles Sanders pickup. I think he and Chuba Hubbard are going to have a good year. Obviously, there's some questions about your offensive line, with the exception of your left tackle, who is probably a top 3 left tackle in the league, despite being only a rookie last year. So, really, Ike Mekwonu out of NC State. Go Wolfpack, baby. Had to throw that in there. But there's definitely, y'all made some good off-season moves for sure. I really like the off-season that you had. You definitely became a better football team. I like the Frank Reich head coach hiring. I think he's a good head coach. I personally would have chosen Steve Wilkes, mostly because Steve Wilkes had the locker room of the Panthers last year in a way that few head coaches can ever get a locker room. It's hard. So, like, Frank Reich is probably a smarter football mind, but locker room and culture do matter a lot in the NFL. So Wilkes would have been my pick, but I'm absolutely excited for you guys. I'm still happy with the Frank Reich pickup. I think y'all made some good off-season moves, and I mean, this will be a good time to transition in towards the draft. Y'all had a pretty decent draft. Y'all made a big splash, obviously, trading up for the number 1 overall pick in Bryce Young. And I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I'll tell you what, we gave a whole lot for the first overall pick. A whole lot to Chicago. DJ Moore, first rounders, second rounder, I think maybe 2 second rounders. But
I think y'all gave up 3 picks. Y'all definitely went all out for him.
we gave a lot. So I'll say this about the whole draft hubbub. If Bryce Young doesn't work out, this will be a catastrophic failure. But he has such a high IQ and is just one of the smartest players I've seen and has a pretty solid arm. I think it's going to be great. I think it'll turn out great. And I am so excited to see what he can do. He is, and during the preseason, just going to talk about the preseason just a little bit. Ike Kwanu actually was not doing too well during the preseason, but hopefully that's just knocking the dust off because he was absolutely stellar last year. But our offensive line was just letting this poor 5'9", 190 some pound quarterback just get demolished. And seeing him fall and get right back up and watching him fall, I can tell he's ready. If we just beef up our offensive line and just get our crap together, I'm so excited. Second round, we got Jonathan Mingo, Ole Miss.
Love that
I
pick.
like it. I do. He was performing really great in the preseason. Got a good connection with Bryce Young so far. I am big on it. I like it a lot. DJ Johnson doing all right during the preseason, but it's all right. It's fourth round pick. We got Chandler Zavala from NC State guard.
Pack.
He seems to be doing all right. Nothing, and then Jamie Robinson, safety from Florida State. All in all, not too bad. Really focused on sort of all around this draft. But I'm liking it. I haven't seen anyone really do bad in the offseason. Nothing to note of. Now, there were some jitters here and there with a couple of the players, but honestly, I'm excited. I'm excited. Brand new Panthers team this year. I am just ecstatic for game one at with the Falcons. I can't contain my excitement. I know I said that kind of sort of monotone, but this is the hypest I've been since Cam Newton's MVP season. Good Lord. I think we can make a splash. I really do. What are your thoughts, Vegas?
Well, going up and getting the first overall pick, really bold, hoping it pays off for you guys. I definitely think the last 3 years have not been fun for you. Had to deal with Matt Rule as your head coach, who, well, if it weren't for Urban Meyer, might be considered the worst head coach ever. And
certainly.
Last year just barely missing out on the playoffs. If y'all had beaten the Bucks at the end of the season, y'all would have been in the playoffs, which, imagine that turnaround, lose your head coach. Mid-season, Steve Wilkes comes in, gets the guys to buy in, go on a run, make the playoffs. I mean, y'all would have probably lost to the Dallas Cowboys. But
oh, absolutely.
It still would have been a good feel-good story for y'all and giving you kind of that hopeful boost going forward. Unfortunately, Tom Brady had to, go ahead and be Tom Brady right at that week, which he'd kind of...
At the end.
Yeah,
right
he'd kind of struggled. He and the team overall had kind of struggled a little bit, but they found their stride in that game when they needed to. So, and I mean,
yep.
Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, what are you going to do? But overall,
not much.
I like the aggressive move from the Panthers. Sometimes you gotta be bold in order to make something happen, and they made a bold move. I was genuinely surprised as well when I saw that they were the ones who went and traded for that number 1 overall pick from Chicago, and y'all went and got Bryce Young, who is the most NFL-ready quarterback. Now, whether or not he will pan out to be the best quarterback out of this draft remains to be seen. I definitely have my questions about him, especially with regards to his size. There are not a lot of undersized quarterbacks that do well in the NFL. I'm definitely concerned about his health because, as I mentioned earlier, there's definitely some issues with that offensive line. Hopefully Aquanu just had a bad preseason and is going to be back to form If not, then blindside's going to be a big issue for Bryce Young. So we'll see.
For once, I'll say. Sorry. For once, I'll say I hope a player can get back to their rookie year form. He was that good.
He was. I mean, he was top. He was top. I'm pretty sure he was the top 3 left tackle last year, which is insane as a rookie to do. So I mean, y'all have had so y'all have done solid with your draft picks as of late. So I do like the Jonathan Mingo. I do like the Jonathan Mingo draft pick a lot. I think he's a guy who can be very good for all. I don't know if he'll I don't know if he can be like a wide receiver 1 necessarily. I think it's possible, but I think he's more likely to settle into kind of a wide receiver 2 role as he develops. But I do like the pick a lot.
Oh, big time. And especially with off-season, or not off-season, preseason. Preseason, we had a couple of injuries. By a couple, I mean a good bit.
Everyone's got injuries in the preseason. New England basically didn't field like any starting offensive linemen during the preseason. They were all hurt, which, well, definitely exposed our depth issues.
So I believe two wide receivers have been are questionable for Atlanta, which will give Jonathan Mingo a good little
opportunity,
sort of a showcase. Yeah, an opportunity for sure.
Yeah,
and I like
like
how he's going. Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about how we think my Carolina Cats are going to do this year. So, me personally, after you, Vegas, what do you think? What do you got?
I'm looking at their schedule, and I'm not going to lie, they have a pretty easy schedule. Obviously, every team's got some difficult opponents. Y'all got the Seahawks, y'all got the Vikings, y'all got the Dolphins, Jaguars, Cowboys. Packers, we'll see. I don't think the Bears should be that big of an issue. Colts shouldn't be an issue.
No.
Bucks are definitely a question mark. The Bucks have the potential to be a very bad football team or a pretty solid football team. The Falcons are the same way. The Saints are probably going to win this division. I think they're the team in the division that you're going to struggle with the most.
Yep, I agree. I don't know if the Saints are going to win the division. Honestly, truly, I think any team in the NFC South could win the division, even the Buccaneers. But because it is so bad, the lack of talent, and so many new people are taking the field on this NFC South squads. It's anyone's game, really. It's anyone's division, really.
I think it's the Saints to lose, because you got Derek Carr coming in. He's arguably top 12 quarterback. The Saints have a pretty solid defense. They've got a good running back group, a good wide receiver group. I think it will be a surprise to a lot of people if the New Orleans Saints do not win this division. And I think, looking at the 3 other teams, I think the Carolina Panthers are probably the best bet to knock the Saints off the top. And that's if their defense lives up to their potential, because the Carolina Panthers have a good-looking defense.
Oh, yes. Say it louder, people. Come on now.
There might be some questions about the depth for y'all, but I like what I'm seeing from your defense. I'm hoping Frank Reich is going to be able to work something out with that. So we'll absolutely see there, but if your defense is as good as they can be, they'll be able to keep you in a lot of games. And then it's going to be up to Bryce Young and that young offense to see can they make it happen. So there's definitely going to be a lot of questions asked and answered of the Carolina Panthers this year, specifically around Bryce Young, gonna get thrown into the fire from the beginning. And there's definitely questions about doing that. Is it better to bring on a veteran for a couple of years and have the rookie sit behind, So, we'll see what the case with Jordan Love is this year. He's going to be a really interesting player to watch. Will sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for several years impact him greatly versus, Young just getting thrown straight into the fire week 1. Now,
Yep.
Falcons, week 1, it's going to be an away game, but they're not the most difficult team on y'all's schedule. So they're a team
No,
that I
absolutely
think
not.
you can definitely beat. But I think it's going to be a game. I think Panthers-Falcons, both of those games are going to be two of the most entertaining games this year because y'all are going to be pretty evenly matched. Y'all both have really solid run games, decent defenses, question marks at quarterback, both young guys. So we'll see how that goes. But I am excited for y'all this year. In terms of your floor, I would say that y'all are probably, at worst, going to win 6 games and lose 11. And I think at your best, I think you can go 10-7. Now, do I think your team is that kind of quality at 10-7? No. But your schedule is so easy this year that it is plenty possible that you reach that high. But I don't see it happening.
So-
I expect you guys to finish around 7-8 wins.
So I fully think that we could lose or win as many as 5 or win as many as 10 games. And you're exactly right. We have a pretty nice schedule to set us up. So are we a 10-7 team? No, we aren't. But certainly this schedule could provide us a 10-7 Panthers team. I think we will go 9-8. That's my prediction. We go 9-8 and we win the division. I'm a homer, obviously, so I gotta stick with my Carolina Cats, my boys.
You see
to
the
take
Saints
the division.
losing 8 games? Because the Saints play almost all the same teams that you do. Actually, they're probably going to have an easier schedule than you because they finished worse in the division last year. So
I think that they can. I think the division games, the Dolphins, Cowboys. I think there are just a couple games that we may be able to squeak out. Honestly, I think that it will come down to who has the most in division wins. So who has won the most over the Falcons, the Saints, and the Buccaneers? I think that we can do it, though. I think we can pull it out. I think Derek Carr's great. With Michael Thomas healthy, Olave there, got Jamal Williams. I'm big on Jamal Williams. Kamara's going to be out for 3 games, but once Kamara's in there, a real deadly offense. That being said, I think that Saints are just, I don't think they have it anymore. I think that the era of Drew Brees and Sean Payton is just gone, and I don't think that they're going to. If anyone would win it besides the Panthers, it would be the Saints, and obviously this is me being a big Panthers fan thinking they're going to win it, but I have a lot of faith in my boys. That being said, a lot of the games that a lot of analysts have us to lose, the Lions, the Seahawks, we won both of those games last year.
But both of those teams got a lot better
tell.
this offseason, so.
Absolutely, but only time will tell. One thing I do really like about this schedule, just in terms of interestingness, Colts and Texans, we're both going to, if both of them decide to start their QBs, their rookie QBs, that'll be really interesting to see Bryce play against Richardson and Stroud, both. I think Bears is just, a DJ Moore reunion, but
yeah.
And
the other thing,
and even Will Levis.
Yeah, I was about to say the other thing, too. If Will Levis somehow ends up being the starter for the Titans by week 12, y'all could end up playing all 3 young quarterbacks, and obviously those guys would all play each other because they're in the same division. So.
Yep.
And
so
it's telling how terrible that division was last year that they ended up, the 3 of them ended up getting quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds of the draft.
Yep. So I'm excited for this team. I'm hoping we can get our crap together for Atlanta and I'm ready. I'll say this though. Something to look out for is the Falcons' run game. They've got 3 great running backs Bijan, Algier, and Patterson.
A
Good stuff.
100%. Y'all's run defense is going to be tested early on this year, and then week 2, y'all are probably going to get tested more in the passing game against the Saints. Like I said, Falcons-Saints,
Yep.
2 big division games, 2 early challenges for this team. So, and the Falcons are also a very young team with a lot to prove, a lot of question marks this year. So that's an interesting game for both of you. Saints are going to be more, can they live up to the expectations, but they're definitely going to be a more experienced team than y'all. So I definitely expect the Saints to win in week 2. Week 1 is such an enticing game. But I think because it's at home, I think the Falcons are going to be able to make it happen. I think y'all win when the Falcons visit you guys in week 15. I think the other part is, with such a young team, even though both teams are young, the Falcons are a little older and a little more gelled than you guys are, especially with the regime change as well for y'all. So I think the Falcons would have it a little more figured out week 1 than you guys. I think it's going to take y'all a few weeks to really get it together. Seahawks, Vikings, Lions, Dolphins back-to-back-to-back is going to be a bit tough. And I think y'all are going to learn and grow and really learn a lot about yourselves as a team in these first 6 weeks. And then it's going to be end of the season when it comes crunch time, when you got to face the Bucks, the Saints, the Falcons, the Packers, the Jags, and then the Bucks again. Are y'all going to be able to win those games that you're going to need to win if you want to make a playoff push? So, a lot of questions for the Panthers this year. A really interesting year for them. I mean, is there is there anything else you want to add?
Not really. I'll say one more I guess quick little thing. I was not big on the owner. I don't think David Tepper was great to start off with, but he's making changes, and I think he's really starting to understand the Carolina way. And I'm not fully shouting out my support yet, but he's making progress, and I appreciate that he's making progress. Frank Reich, there's so much untapped potential because this is our first offensive head coach ever. So that really is the Carolina Panthers season in a nutshell. One big fat question mark. And even so, to all my Panthers fans out there, I know we got this season. I know we can do it no matter what happens. Just got to keep pounding. Keep it up. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding indeed. Well, that's going to be it from us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we'll see you all in the next video.